What's going on, everybody? My name is Thomas Marr. If you don't already know me, I'm a U.S. Army veteran turned civilian project manager and powerlifting strongman coach for the past 4 or 5 years. And this is a 53-week series all about real, no-cost training plans to help you meet your goals this year in 2025. So, with all that being said, we just did our week 7 last week. We moved into our strength phase at about week 5. We moved through some 5x2s on bench, deadlift, and squat this week, and we had some pretty gnarly HIIT workouts on day 2 as well, with our 20-minute AMRAP, introducing toes to bar as people get more comfortable with hanging exercises. We're doing a lot of pull-ups, building that grip on the bar, so now we want to really start to build that core up and so forth. Day 1, we moved through barbell bench press at a 5x2. Day 2, we had our 20-minute AMRAP at 12 cal row, 10 toe to bar, 10 wall balls. I think I got through about 7 rounds of that. And then we did our second option as well. I threw a weight vest on, 32-pound weight vest, so we did kind of a mini Murph workout. But instead of running, we did either a 1,000-meter row, 1,500-meter bike. I did a 1,000-meter row myself, then 30 pull-ups, 60 push-ups, 90 air squats, followed by another 1,000-meter row. Wednesday, we had our barbell deadlift at a 5x2, followed by all of our exercises after that. Then Thursday, we had our steady state day. I went ahead and did an hour and 15 on the rower, about 17,000 meters, in preparation for this upcoming Thursday, something I'll be talking about again. Friday is going to be our full body strength day. We moved through a 5x2 on squat there. By this time at the end of the week, I realized that I was feeling kind of beat down, but I was really surprised with how I was able to perform on here. So squat moved really well, and then we moved through the rest of our exercises there. And then, of course, Saturday was our active recovery day. I actually helped a buddy move some stuff myself, so my active recovery was not really. So now we're moving into week 8. This is kind of going to cap off our strength phase, and we're going to move into a different accumulation phase. We'll take a week or 2 of a deload, so to speak, just a little bit less volume, and be able to focus on some of the newer movements that we're working into our exercises. But this will be our cap off to our strength phase here, where we start to test where we're at. So moving into day 1, Monday, it's going to be our upper strength day yet again. This week we're going to be testing single rep maxes. So first thing up, barbell bench press, 3 working sets of 1, right? If you don't know what RPE is, I can tag an article that I wrote on RPE and how to correctly gauge it on my website with Torque Training Systems. But barbell bench press, we want a 3 set of 1 working round, with our first set being an RPE 8, second set at RPE 9, and our third set being all out RPE 10. Okay. Following that, just like we had before, we're going to be doing a superset of pull-ups, 3 sets at max reps, and barbell overhead press, 3 sets of 10. We want to start to move that weight up on barbell overhead press, make sure we're locking the shoulders back and pushing our head all the way through whenever we get through the press. But that'll be our first superset. Then we'll move into chest supported rows for a 3x10, seated Arnold press for a 3x10, incline dumbbell press for a 3x10, and then our final superset, arms, of course, alternating dumbbell curls at 3x10, or dumbbell French press, dumbbell Skullcrusher for a 3x10. I've had some people come to me and ask, I'm not really feeling it in my biceps or anything. You can do more of a crossbody barbell, or a crossbody dumbbell curl, if you prefer to, do a different movement or so on. Or you can do fixed barbell curls. You can do them that way as well. But really definitely make sure that we have a spotter for this day, for our max rep or max weight on bench press, especially for that RPE 9-10 range as well. So that'll close out our day 1. Moving into day 2, we have our HIIT day yet again. Our option 1 I picked up from a video that I watched on a workout with Rich Phoning. It's going to be 4 times. It's going to be 9-round Tabata. If you don't know what Tabata is, it is going to be a specific amount of work time and then a specific amount of rest time. So on this one, we're going to be doing a minute 40 of work, 20 seconds of rest, 9 rounds of that. So it'll go 140, 20-second rest, 140, 20-second rest. And that's going to be row or bike, right? This is going to be active work. We're not just lackadaisically pulling on the rower. We're not going to be lackadaisically, pedaling the rower, with our hands on our hips, or pedaling the bike with our hands on our hips or anything like that. We're going to be actively rowing. Good expectation to set for yourself. If you're looking at the rower, let's try to keep it at a sub 205, sub 2 minute pace. 1,200-ish cals per hour if you look at them that way. On the bike, I'd probably say wattage wise, we want to keep it above 400, 400 to 500, or higher if you can. But the goal is whatever you set for yourself on that first round, you want to be working through it pretty hard, but then you want to be able to sustain that for the next 9 rounds. Okay, that 20-second rest is just to help you catch your breath, but also to help break up the monotony, so that way you don't really fall into that groove, but you're actually actively having to focus on how you're starting up, how you're following through, and how you're finishing through that 140 round. So it'll be 9 rounds Tabata. Our second option for time is going to be our good friend 21:15:9 for devil press, row cals, and wall balls. We did this one a couple of weeks ago. This was a really good burner. As we start to move into our next phase, you're going to start to see a lot more different compound movements as I start experimenting with them. So we'll start to progressively move through, snatches or power cleans or more complex movements like that as we become more comfortable in the gym. So 21:15:9 devil press, men's target weight 35, women's 20 pounds. And then, of course, row cals, and then the wall balls, 20 pound for men, 14 for women. So that'll close out our HIIT day, day 2. Day 3 is going to be our lower strength day. Same thing, we're going to be testing our deadlift for 3x1, RP 8, 9, and 10. Okay. Make sure that if you have a belt, I recommend you use it, especially since we're going for a max weight deadlift. And then, be nice to the equipment, especially if you go to a gym owner, a private gym owner, and it's not a commercial gym. These people put a lot of time and effort into the equipment that they have in the gym. Just make sure that you're taking care of your area, taking care of the equipment around you. I know some people can get kind of rowdy on deadlift, but we want to be mindful that that is not our stuff. So barbell deadlift, 3x1, RP 8, 9, and 10. Then we move into bent over barbell rows for 3x10, dumbbell alternating step ups for 3x10, goblet squats for 3x10, dumbbell RDL for 3x10. Then our superset at standing calf raise, tib raise for 3x20 each, and then we'll do pull-ups this week instead of toes to bar. So that being said, we'll move into Thursday. Thursday is going to be our steady state day. Thursday is also February 20th. February 20th, I'm going to be taking on the Mission 22 22,000 meter row challenge. It's for a cause that's very deeply personal to me as a veteran myself. Mission 22 is an organization dedicated to supporting veterans families, and raising awareness about the mental health struggles that they carry, and combating the horrific rate of veteran suicide that we have in our country today. So Mission 22 helps provide those vital resources, including treatment programs, over the phone health outreach efforts, support systems, and they help veterans feel better about themselves and reclaim their lives. So this week on the 20th, I'm going to be rowing 22,000 meters. This should take me just under 2 hours, which is basically about 13 miles. But we're also doing a fundraiser for that in tandem. We released a shirt this week. I'll post a video here on YouTube as well, but we released a shirt this week that you can purchase to help support, and all of the proceeds from that shirt, all of the profits from that shirt will go directly to Mission 22 and their support for our veterans. So through this effort, I hope to inspire a lot of people to take back their life and realize that it's okay to reach out and ask for help. And I just really wanted to bring awareness to that. So Thursday, for my steady state day, I'm going to be doing that event. Feel free to do it along with me. It's going to be a hard one. A good target for that is to maintain about a 2:15, 2:10 pace. And that should put you on track to get it done in under 2 hours. If you do participate, feel free to post a video of it and tag me, tag Mission 22. If anybody participates and they send a video of them doing it, and they send a picture of the row challenge, I will personally buy you one of the shirts, and I will also match the donation of the profit that comes from the shirt to Mission 22 myself. So, with that being said, that'll be our steady state day. Moving into Friday, right after that, we're going to have our squat for 3x1 as well, RP 8, 9, and 10 as well. So make sure we're focusing on good squat form. We don't want any dangerous things happening. Don't be egotistical or however you want to call it, but get a spotter, right? We're moving some pretty heavy weight here, so let's get a spotter whenever we do our RP 9 and 10 weights, even if it's just one guy on the back or two guys on the side or on the side of the barbell, whatever. Let's just make sure that we're being safe through these movements, because at the end of the day, we still got a job to do during the day. We still got people to provide for around us. So let's be smart with our movements, and be smart with our weight selections as well. Following the 3x1, we're going to move into barbell good mornings. Then we have front squats, and then our superset at hammer curls and push-ups for 3x15 and 3x20. And then the good mornings front squats are 3x10. I don't know if I said that or not, but hammer curls and push-ups 3x15, 3x20. Then we have our farmer's walk and shrugs for 3x30 meter, and then 3x15 directly after. And then we have our split squats and 3 sets of pull-ups max reps. That'll close out our strength week. And Saturday, of course, is going to be our active recovery day. Especially after this week, we're going to need it. So make sure that we're not staying stagnant throughout the weekend. Get up, move around, even if it's just walking around the store, going sightseeing and all that stuff, or going to some outdoor market or whatever. Just make sure that we're moving around, and we don't want to just kind of sit in that muscle soreness. So, with all that being said, this is week 8. We're in our second macro here for our training cycle this year. Today, I'd like to motion towards growth. We started this 8 weeks ago. We made a decision to put our life on a better track. We made a decision to be more physically fit for the people around us, to make better decisions for the people around us, and we started to be very introspective on our Sundays, and we do our studying, we do our reading, and that growth happens whether it's easy or not. Right? Some days we can fall into our reading, we can fall into our training session, and we're really getting after it, but it doesn't always happen that same way. Sometimes we have to put forth effort just to get there, right? Just to get ourselves to that point. I can remember a few times throughout this past training cycle where I just sat in front of the gym for 15, 20 minutes because I really didn't feel like training. But the growth that we are doing for ourselves doesn't always happen when things are easy. It really happens when we push through the hard things, when we willingly step into that zone of discomfort and refuse to say no. There was a quote that I came across this past week. It was, difficulty strengthen the mind as labor does the body. Going into week 8, every challenge that we take on inside the gym, whether, it's a heavy lift or a difficult workout, we had a tough day outside the gym, that conditions us to handle more. That conditions us to become more. It almost building a callus to the hard things that happen to us in life, helping us stay on track even when things get turned upside down. And that hard work that we put in isn't just about getting stronger physically. It's about sharpening our mental skills, sharpening our mind, building resilience, and proving to ourselves every single day that we can take on whatever life throws at us. So this week, as we move into this tough week of training, whether it looks easy to you on paper or not, this is going to be a tough week, especially if we've done this past 8 weeks together. 1 rep max tests are not easy, and they're very taxing on us. As we move into this, embrace the struggle. Lean into that hard work that we have to put in, and trust that every single rep that we do, every session, every uncomfortable moment that we have inside and outside the gym is making us better. So, with all that being said, you've got your training. Make sure you can tag me in videos. If you have any questions or anything, feel free to reach out to me on social media. I'll have my Instagram linked in the bio below, or you can leave a comment on the video here. But with all that being said, let's get after it this week. Train hard.